Some people think a marriage ends with a bang, an affair, a screaming match, a slammed door. But mine ended in a whisper. A single sentence, spoken in the quiet of our living room, that cut deeper than any shout ever could. I had just come home from work. The room was dim. She was on the couch, scrolling on her phone, a world away in the very space we shared. I sat beside her, and in a moment of pure vulnerability, I reached out. Just a brush of my hand on her arm, a silent plea for a connection that had been fading for months. She turned. Her eyes were empty, and she said the words that would become the epitaph of our marriage, "I'm not yours to touch." Her voice wasn't angry. It was final, like a judge passing a sentence. In that moment, the man I was the steady, patient husband who always believed in fixing things shattered. But from the wreckage, a new man emerged. A colder, clearer man. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I simply sat back and watched her return to her phone as if she hadn't just obliterated US. And a single, powerful thought crystallized in my mind. If you're not mine to touch, then you're not mine to keep. That was the night I stopped being her husband and started being my own man. The change wasn't loud. It was silent and absolute. I matched her energy, but I surpassed her indifference. I withdrew emotionally, financially, physically. The joint account? Frozen. Her casual spending sprees? Over. My time and attention? No longer available on demand. I started living for myself. I worked later. I hit the gym. I reconnected with friends. At home, I was a ghost, polite, present, but utterly untouchable. The more I pulled away, the more she unraveled. The woman who once held all the power was now desperate to regain a foothold in a life I was no longer building around her. She tried everything. She cooked meals. She bought a new dress. She left notes. But every attempt was met with the same calm, devastating truth: you're not mine to touch. I threw her words back at her, and they hit with the force of a hammer. The final collapse happened at a family dinner. When she tried to play the victim, I looked at our relatives and said, calmly, she made it clear she's not mine to touch. So I decided she's not mine to keep. The room fell silent. Her facade crumbled in front of everyone. The humiliation was complete. I didn't leave in a rage. I left with quiet precision. A suitcase, a new apartment, a short note on the counter. You're not mine to keep. Take care of yourself. And I never looked back. My life didn't end that night on the couch, it began. My career skyrocketed. I found a love that was given freely, not withheld as a weapon. I found peace. She, on the other hand, was left with the consequences of her own coldness. The security she took for granted vanished. The power she cherished evaporated. They say the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. And I became the most indifferent man she'd ever known. Her regret came too late. My new life was the best revenge I could have ever imagined.